Hello and welcome to the Night Feed. I'm your host, Charlotte, here to bring you some comfort, camaraderie, and conversation and keep you company during, well, let's face it, one of the toughest parts of being a new parent, the Night Feed. Tonight's unpaid sponsor is attempting to sleep in a toddler bed when you're almost 40 weeks pregnant. Oh, we had one of those weeks last week when everyone apart from me was ill. It was a nasty bug, cough, cold symptoms, they were all down with it. And this meant one night we were all in the bed together. And while I lay there, harpooned in the middle of two kids, not getting a wink of sleep, I didn't want to disturb them because they were all, including Jason, finally asleep after being up in the night. I thought it's just not worth waking them. I didn't want to say to Jason to get out of the bed because he was ill, and I thought, right, come on, we're going to have to do something here. So instead of the logical route, going and making up the spare bed, I decided at 3 a.m. it was a great idea to get into my 4-year-old's toddler bed. Now, I am, for context, 5'10" and almost 40 weeks pregnant, meaning I am far from petite at the moment. And there I was, lay on my side in the fetal position in a bed that's probably about 4 foot long. And I was like, yeah, this isn't working. There's no way I'm going to be able to fall asleep like this. So I migrated then to my 2-year-old's cot bed. And by cot bed, I mean a cot with the side taken off, essentially. And I did the same thing. I lay there. I tried to get comfortable. I tried to extend the cot bed to the side with a duvet so I had room for my legs. And when you just stare up at the ceiling, you're like, what am I doing? If I'd awoke Jason, he'd have got up in a heartbeat and gone in a different bed. I just didn't want to do that while I was ill. So I thought, what are we going to do? I woke my 4-year-old. I said, look, Mummy needs to get some sleep. And she walked in a sleep dazed state back to her bed, saying she wanted a mummy snuggle. So I lay with her for approximately 1 minute while she fell back to sleep. And we managed some sleep. But when you have one of those crazy moments and you're like, what on earth am I doing? So yes, needless to say, I am still pregnant. I will be 40 weeks on Monday. And I'm in that weird, oh my God, will my waters break if I go to Asda? It's like a limbo, isn't it? When everyone keeps saying to me, oh, your third will come early. Your third will come early. I'm like, right, okay, my third's going to come early. Best not go to the supermarket on my own with the girls then. I keep doing it though. I keep going out. I have this invincible feeling at the moment because I know in a couple of weeks or days, I'm going to be sat with a newborn, which I'm really, really looking forward to. But it also means you are very tied to the house, doesn't it? Especially when you're breastfeeding and you've got to feed every hour, you can't be going on jaunts to the Trafford Centre or taking the kids to soft play or blah, blah, blah. So I'm fully in the swing of parenting outside the house at the moment because I find that easier as well. The girls are loving it. But I'm also in the back of my mind you could go into labour while driving this car. So I have backed off these last few days. I have stayed at home a lot more than I usually would. And I'm just kind of enjoying the moment with my 2 girls because I know there'll be 3 soon. And yesterday I was exhausted and my 2-year-old had a lovely nap on me and my 4-year-old nestled in. And I think we watched 1.5 Disney films, and I'm not even sorry about it. I was just sat this is the chill that I need right now. And it was wonderful, kept my feet up. But yeah, coming back to last week when they were all ill, and luckily, touch wood, I didn't get it because I thought there is no way I want to give birth with a cough like that. But when everyone's ill, you have to keep the house running, don't you? Not on your own. Jason was great at helping, don't get me wrong. Considering he was ill, he was still really hands-on, which thankfully is what you need when you're this pregnant. But I did something last week which you only ever do once. I did this for the second time, and I was not a happy bunny. So I washed a nappy in the washing machine in my brand new duvet set. And it was one of those days when I'd done like 2 loads of washing on the washing line. I was feeling really accomplished. And then I pull out this new duvet that I'm really looking forward to drying and putting on my bed because, like the little things and all that. And I'm getting it out, and there comes all that crystallized silica, whatever it is, gel that is completely coating the duvet cover. And oh my God, I just had such a you have taken 10 steps forward and a million steps back right now. So I managed to get all the gel off, washing it in the sink. I don't know what the right thing is to do with all that. And then I went to put another load on, and I had an error on my washing machine. And I'm like, not today, not this week. I am in psychotic nesting mode. I have clothes to wash. I have things to do. The washing machine is not allowed to break. That is not happening. I think you can hear the rage coming through at the moment. So I saw this error message, told Jason. He said, right, let me get onto it tonight. I'll sort it. Well, then I had this overwhelming urge to sort it myself, as you do when you're nesting. I thought, how hard is it? You just take the little filter out the bottom. I've done it before. Take the little filter out the bottom. You pull the little drawer out that catches all the gunk. You give that a good clean. And it's done. So there I was, a few towels on the floor. I actually joked to Jason. I was like, I'm going to give it a go. I said, hey, I could do a little niche OnlyFans here. Pregnant woman does the plumbing. I said, I bet there's a niche for that. And I went into the utility room, got the few towels out. Didn't do the OnlyFans, of course, but I'll come back to that in a second. And they're ready for the water to start gushing out a little bit as it does. Got the water, cleaned the filter, thought I put the filter back in. Was feeling so accomplished. I went into the kitchen. I said to Jason, babe, I've done it. I fixed it. And he's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that, but well done. I'd have done it. So put my next load on, and I kid you not, a waterfall came out of the washing machine. I was like, what is happening? I grabbed every towel, every sheet I could find in sight, and there I was on my hands and knees, drenched, trying to stop this washing machine flood the room. And it dawned on me, I hadn't put the filter back in. So I'm not the plumber I thought I was. All the new water just came right through onto the floor. Managed to stop the washing machine. I was just literally bashing every button. Stopped the washing machine. And I found myself in my knickers in the utility room because all my clothes were wet after the waterfall saga. And I said to Jason, never joke about making niche OnlyFans porn because you might just end up next to your washing machine in your knickers. And then, just to add fuel to the already burning fire in this house at the moment, I went upstairs because the smell of the old stagnant washing machine water was clinging to my nostrils. And I think you're hypersensitive when you're this pregnant, aren't you? And you smell and everything, you sense the smell. So I said, I'm going to go get in the shower. I need to get clean after what just happened. Go upstairs to get in the shower, have a nice relaxing, calming shower, and the plug hole was blocked. So there I was, in that, that precious golden hour or 2 hours you get after the kids have gone to bed, where you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have the best chill of my life right now. I'm going to put my feet up, I'm going to put something on, and I'm going to relax for an hour before bed because I need it. Well, I was plumbing. So there I was, drain and blocker liquid going down the shower, trying to unblock it for the life of me. In fact, no, I didn't do that first. I got in the shower. I had the speediest shower ever because I needed the shower so badly. Didn't want to have a bath. Had my shower, jumped out before the water started pouring over the edge, and then did the drain and blocker solution thing. And yeah, finally sat down after a night of plumbing that Jason would have done if I'd have just let him. If I'd have let him do the washing machine, I wouldn't have been in a flood. If I'd have let him unblock the shower, I wouldn't have been in a tiz. So sometimes just accept the help, mums. Accept the help. Even though you are Superwoman, even though you can do a bit of plumbing here and there, do a bit of this and that, accept your partner's help, even if you have to wait half an hour for it. That was the moral of that story. So yeah, it's all go. It's been all go this last 2 weeks, but I am eagerly anticipating the baby's arrival. And it's really, I don't know why, but I'm a bit more nervous this time. With my first, I was obviously nervous because you don't know what to expect. And then you have the baby and you're like, okay, that's what labour's like. Then with my second, I was really proactive with all like hypnobirthing and reading into how your body is meant to give birth, how it's designed for it. And I felt super positive. I was going into the hospital. Jason was making me laugh hysterically the whole way to the hospital, even when I was about to give birth. I think the midwives didn't realise I was so far gone and so far dilated because I was just laughing. Everything was funny. And it's exactly what you need, isn't it? The oxytocin. I don't know how he was doing it, but he was on form that day. And I was just, despite the pain, in hysterics. So that labour, I have really fond memories of. It was very quick. And this time round, it's just dawning on me so much more, the whole pain we go through. And yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more tense around it. So I need to calm myself, I think. I need to really focus on relaxing and embracing labour. And obviously you think about the gift you get at the end, don't you? You're thinking about your new baby the whole way through. Like every push is one step closer to getting to them. But I can't shake that almost worry of the bit that we all can't deny really hurts. But yeah, that's my mission this week, now that the house is okay and that everybody is well, is to really kind of sink into the positive thoughts around labour. So we'll see. I also wanted to update you actually on the smart ring that I was very kindly gifted by Thermometer. And I've been wearing it for a few weeks now, and honestly, it has been really, really insightful. I've been monitoring my heart rate, my basal temperature, and my stress level in these last few weeks. And it's been really interesting, particularly in the last few weeks of pregnancy. When I've been getting in a bit of a tiz, as we do in the last few weeks, and we can't control our mood swings and our hormones, I've seen my stress visibly on the app increase. And then I've purposely sat and had a minute, calming myself down, and I've seen it go back into the green on the app, which is, stress-free level. And I find it fascinating how it measures it. And for me personally, because my family history with pregnancy is high blood pressure. There's been preeclampsia in my family, and it's something that I do have to watch for. So being able to monitor my stress levels and understand my heart rate and how high it's going has been so insightful, like I said, and reassuring at times. And then the insight into my sleep has also been amazing, and goes without saying that the nights I get 7 hours plus, directly correlates with my mood being so much better, as do the nights where I get 3 hours sleep and I'm like Godzilla. It's like it all kind of backs itself up. And I know a lot of people use the ring also for contraception, which is something I will be doing after this pregnancy. The pill really does not agree with me. I don't like being on it, and I have been looking for alternative ways of tracking my fertility and using something alternative for contraception. So I am going to monitor my monthly cycles with the ring and see how it helps with understanding when I'm fertile, when I'm not fertile, etc. But if you are interested in taking a look, I'll leave the link in the show notes. It's to me, it seems much cheaper than the other alternatives on the market, and you don't have to pay a monthly subscription to the app. Plus, if you use my code, the NightFeed20, you'll get 20% off. So yeah, it's there for you if you want to take a look. Like I said, it's been really insightful for me personally. And if it's something you're interested in, or you're considering getting a smart ring, I definitely give this one a look and let me know what you think. Okay, on to confessions of a new mum. This section makes us all feel a little bit better when we're feeling a little bit unhinged. And I'm about to be in the throes of postpartum. So reading these little stories makes me remember that my hormones and my moods are going to be all over the place. So we'll start off with this one. I was going to an appointment, thought I had forgotten something for my baby. I had, in fact, forgotten the whole baby. Next is any time I drove for more than 20 minutes while my baby slept, I would scream to wake him and check if he was still alive. Do you know, I get that one. I do get that one. When they're asleep in the car seat and you can see them in your mirror, they look so still. And I have pulled over a few times when I've been on my own in the car with a newborn just to check that they're okay. Because you hear so many stories about them seats, don't you? The car seats, and you think, oh my God. But yeah, I get that. I get that one. Started crying when my baby was 3 weeks old because he had no friends yet. Got in my car, drove to the supermarket, went to get the baby out and realised I had left her in her car seat in the hallway. Next one, woke up to feed my baby at 2 a.m. He was completely covered in sweat. Rang the midwives in a panic. They told me to strip him. Turns out I'd forgot to put a nappy on him and it was wee. Sometimes my kid just watches TV for most of the day. I'm tired and I'm pregnant and I watch it too. I hear you, sister. I was home alone, dropped the noodles on the floor that I'd been looking forward to cooking, started crying on the floor, rang my dad in tears, and he came, literally picked me up off the floor and took me to theirs to make me more noodles. Do you know what? I so get these emotions because I listened to a song today with our baby boy's name in, the name that we've decided on, and I was bawling. I was absolutely crying my eyes out. I was trying to do my makeup and I thought, I'll put this song on while I do my makeup and listen to it. I'd never heard it before. And yeah, the emotions just completely came over me. And I think it's like the mixture of anticipation to meet him, nervousness, the joy you get when you meet your new baby. It all comes completely flooding in, doesn't it? And I think we underestimate how many emotions us women feel in pregnancy and postpartum. And I think we ride such a roller coaster of emotions that one day we're high as a kite, the next we're low. And I always say we need to make sure that as many women know about that as possible, because it's not unusual, it's not weird, it's not bizarre to just start crying. We all do it, and it's okay. Next night is the emails, and I've had a lovely email all the way from Iceland. So this says, contact napping, worries and relief. Hi Charlotte, greetings from Iceland. I adore the podcast. I have a 5-month-old and stumbled upon one of your posts when I was crying in the middle of the night, feeding and scrolling on TikTok when baby girl was 4 weeks old and wouldn't sleep. Since then, your podcast has been my go-to during bedtime feeding, stroller walks, and housework. Oh, I'm really glad it's helped you. I just wanted to write in for all the mums and parents with contact napping Velcro babies, because I would have needed to hear this a few months ago. My baby girl was a full-time contact napper, would only nap for 20 minutes if we managed to lay her down somewhere. For the first 4 months, she had all her naps in a baby wrap or carrier. It was becoming so overwhelming, and I was starting to think it was going to be my life forever. And then she's put, how come every stage feels like it's going to last forever until suddenly it's over and you almost can't remember how things used to be? That is so true. That is so, so true. And then suddenly, once baby girl turned 4 months, she started falling asleep in the pram. At first, just for 40 minutes, but 1 week in, and she would occasionally take 2-hour naps in the pram. Now, at 5 months, she only naps in the pram. It's a custom in Iceland to have them sleep outside your front door or on your balcony in the pram, even during winter. How is this in the UK? I have heard about this in the Nordic countries where they leave the pram outside in the fresh air. And that is just something we don't tend to do here, is it? I think we used to do it because my mum used to say we used to nap in the garden in the pram. And when I've been on walks to the park, for example, my mum will say, oh, like, let's put them in the garden, in the back garden, when now they're napping in the pram. So my mum actually has done that a few times with them, but it's not customary to like leave the prams outside cafes or outside your home. It just isn't really done here. I don't know if that's from a safety perspective, a crime rate perspective. I don't know. But yeah, I think it sounds lovely. They get all that fresh Nordic air, don't they? Back to the email. Now, we usually have to wake her up. She sleeps so well, and it didn't take any training, just had to wait for baby girl to be ready. I should have waited before buying all those sleep guides online. I wish I heard a similar story from someone when I was in the thick of it. So if this makes it on the podcast, hopefully it can help. Babies are all different, and I'm sure some extreme contact nappers do some kind of nap training, but at least in our case, baby just needed time. Now I'm starting to miss the contact naps. Oh, love this email. And it's so true that this is what you need to hear when you're in the throes of a phase that you think is going to last forever, whether that's contact napping, whether that's the 4-month sleep regression, whether that's teething. There are so many phases that when you're in them, they feel like they're going on forever and ever, and you panic and you think, is this ever going to end? But as this lovely listener, Julia, has said, it does end and it does get better, and all the baby needed was time, because it's completely normal that they want to be on their mum when they're tiny. It's normal, it's natural, they feel safe there. Lying on can you imagine going from the womb to lying on a cold, flat, hard surface? It is strange, isn't it? Even when we swaddle them, and we think it's the norm, like, oh, they just need to lie in the cot. Partly for safety, of course, but partly for, well, this is the done thing. But actually, babies love a contact nap. And like this listener has said, you miss the phase when it's over sometimes. You miss them contact naps. And it's something that I'm thinking of at the moment with regards to contact napping. Now, I have a 4-year-old and 2-year-old as well. So unlike with my first, when I would sit and be sofa trapped and nap trapped and actually put my feet up and enjoy it, I'm going to have 2 little ones as well in the mix. So I think actually when I get time to contact nap, I'm going to really embrace it, because it'll mean Jason's got the girls and I'll be able to just relax and enjoy the nap. Otherwise, I think he's going to be in his sling a lot. I think I'm going to be wearing him a lot, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to think, oh, if I wear him too much, will he be reliant on me and will he have to stay on me? And I think, like this listener said, the baby just needed time. And I think the more relaxed you are and the more calm you are and the more you know that they're not going to contact nap on you forever. They're really not. And, my 2-year-old, like I said, fell asleep on me yesterday and I loved every minute of it. This doesn't happen often anymore. She doesn't really nap in the day. And I thought, oh, just enjoy this while she's your baby, because you're going to have another baby soon. So it's all just about, when you're in the phase, remembering no matter how hard it is, it does pass, but also to enjoy the benefits of the phase. as this lovely listener said. So thank you for that. That's a really lovely email. Next email is, social media is ruining my motherhood. Hi, Charlotte. I just wanted to say thank you for advocating on this podcast how bad social media can be for mums. I am 8 weeks postpartum, dealing with a lot of emotions, and following your chat about the detrimental effects of social media, I came off it. It has only been a week, but I cannot tell you how much better and in the moment I feel. It honestly feels like it's cured some of the symptoms of depression I was starting to get, and I feel like I'm here for my baby girl way more. I just wanted to say to your other listeners, if this is something that affects you and you're constantly down after being on social media and you're considering coming off it, you will not regret it. Wow, there you go. Thank you for that. I am really glad that my social media detox, second social media detox, is helping you. And I completely agree. I think if this is something that you struggle with and you're considering coming off social media, you won't regret it. I came off it again, didn't I, was it last week or 10 days ago? And it's been great. It has been, my mind's been clear. I've been coming up with different ideas. I've been so much more in the moment with my kids. And I think when you're on social media, but even when you're not on it physically, so say you go on of a morning and then you go on it at 10 or whatever, but then when you're with the kids, you're playing with them and you're not on your phone, it still affects you because you'll remember something that you saw at 8 a.m. when you woke up, and you'll think about it and it'll play on your mind. And when you're just not on it at all, you don't have the noise. You don't have the noise in your head. So you can't compare yourself, or you can't think of somebody, or you can't let a really harrowing story affect you. I went on TikTok again, I'll be honest. I'm always honest with you guys. I went on TikTok a couple of days ago to post for my podcast, but I also ended up on the feed, which I know I'm not meant to do. And I saw a really, really harrowing story about a child, and I'm not going to talk about it because it is very triggering, and it really upset me. And I just thought, gosh, this is what social media does. And maybe I could have read about it in the news anyway. It's one of those, isn't it? And it is important in a way to bring awareness to things like this. But at the same time, it's such a rollercoaster of emotions, social media. 1 minute you read in a harrowing post that mentally really disturbs you, and the next you read in about, some new jeans that you can get that are stretchy and incredible and the best thing you'll ever own. And it's like, where's my head? Where am I going with this? At least when you're watching a horror film, you're in horror film mode. And when you're watching Friends, you're in Friends comedy mode and you're happy. And social media is such a maze and mixture of emotions. Within 5 minutes you can feel. You can be crying, you can be happy, you can be laughing, I think it's overwhelming. So completely agree with this listener. I'm really glad it's helped you, and I do think it is ruining a lot of motherhoods. And I also think about the children. I think about the children it's affecting when their parents are so hooked on it that they're not just on the phone in their presence, they're also snappy and angry because they're comparing themselves and thinking they should be doing better, and it's just toxic. So that's my opinion, and I'm glad it's helping you. Next tonight is what's trending, and I saw this post when doing my social media research, not scrolling social media. I find it useful as a tool for this podcast, as a research tool. But I came across this post on Instagram from the Happy Mum, Happy Baby podcast. And it says, what was your favourite part of postpartum? So I thought, you know what, there's a lot of posts out there about how challenging it can be. So I thought, let's focus on positives. See if any of these ring true with you. So first one, binge watching morning TV with my baby, being able to sleep on my stomach again. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. Or even just on my back. Gets to a point, doesn't it, where you just have to lie on your side all the time. Learning to slow down. I am here for that. The other mums I met, getting out for a walk every day, watching my husband fall in love with our child. finally taking my twins home after 3 months. That was somebody's. No longer being pregnant, finally having cuddles with my baby, being able to run around with my toddler again. Oh my goodness, yes to this one. I have been saying so much to the girls, I'll be running around with you again soon. And they were saying, when you don't have your baby tummy anymore. And I said, no, yeah, exactly, when I don't have my baby tummy anymore. Because on the one hand, it's been like a real good excuse to sit and put my feet up because they understand. They're not getting me to like ride them around on the bike like their dad does. I'm just like, Mummy has to sit down, put her feet up. And they're like, oh yeah, because there's a baby in your tummy. And I said, yeah. And then that's what my eldest said to me the other day. She said, when the baby's out of your tummy, you'll be running around with us again. I'm like, yeah. And I am genuinely looking forward to having that mobility back. Not only for safety purposes with 2 toddlers, when you're out and about and one decides to start running and you can't run, but just for playing with them and being mobile again. Yeah. Next one is how badass I feel for giving birth. Yeah. Finally holding my much wanted baby all day, every day. No longer having heartburn. Thankfully, haven't suffered with that, with any of them. And I know some women really, really suffer with heartburn. But thankfully, that's not been a symptom. Baby snuggles and being sofa trapped, yes. The newborn scrunch, watching my toddler become an older sibling, the tea and toast, the late night chats with my partner, the middle of the night online shopping sprees, being in that family bubble with nothing else to think about. Hot baths, yes. And finding my village after being worried I never would. Oh, I really love them. I think it's really nice to think about, like I said earlier, the positive parts of postpartum, because I think we are so inundated by things about sleep and sleep safety and all the kind of dangers around postpartum and how moods can change and how raw it can be. And it's actually really nice, I think. There's so much positives about it as well. Like obviously meeting the baby, being sofa and nap trapped, all that kind of energy that comes with a newborn bubble. They call it a newborn bubble, don't they? When you just being with your family and the baby and enjoying that time together, because it is a season in your life that you will look back on and probably want to be back in. And I saw some post actually, and it was saying like when women are at the end of their life, when they're about to, pass, one of the most common things they wish for is to hold their babies again. Oh, and it just made me really well up. And I thought, oh my gosh, yeah, like this is the good old days. You know, even though it can be hard, even though it can be difficult, these are the good old days that we will yearn for. Like the other day when I was mopping, I keep saying about my nesting, I'd mopped this area of the bottom of the stairs and it's kind of like white wood, gloss wood. And I'd mopped it and I cleaned it and it was all sparkling, when you get into that mode. And I came back into the hallway after the girls had gone upstairs. They'd been playing out in the garden and there were 2 black footprints on that white bit around the stairs. And instead of having a bit of a meltdown and being like, oh, I've got to do it all again now, I looked at them footprints and I thought to myself, when I am 70, I will wish for those footprints. And it just put everything into perspective, because in the moment we can get heated, can't we, and be like, oh, look at this mess. But I just looked at those tiny little footprints and thought, you will one day wish for them to be back, wish for them to be all up and down your hallway, making your cream carpet black, because it means they're having fun and they're loving their life and they don't care about the footprints. They don't care about the mess. They care that their mum's happy and not having a meltdown over black footprints. So, yeah, that's just my reminder to be in the moment and remember that raising kids is chaotic and that's okay. My self-care suggestion this evening is to have yourself a bring a board night. I have been meaning to do this for ages and I've mentioned it to some of my friends, like, oh, I'm going to have you over, I'm going to have a night in, and I just haven't got round to it. But once baby's here, I'm going to have a bring a board night with some of my mum friends. And it's where you all just bring a board of a certain food. Some people do like by colour scheme. So like someone brings a yellow board, someone brings a red board, or you just do it by like a certain food or appetizer kind of thing. And I just think it's a really good, no pressure way to spend an evening with the girls. Like you don't have to book a table in a restaurant. You don't have to all go out, especially when you've just had a newborn and you need to be at home with the newborn feeding. It's like a great low pressure way of having your friends over. Everyone brings something, everyone bring a bottle, and yeah, just chill and feed the baby while having a good old laugh with friends. And I think sometimes that is the therapy we all need. Finally, to finish on a quote. Now, this isn't a quote that I wrote. This was a quote on my Mother's Day card from my 4-year-old, which made me bawl. And I'm going to try and not cry, but this is what she came out of school with. It was a lovely little Mother's Day card, and it had a handprint on it. And it said, "This card is to remind you that when I've grown older and tall, that once I was very little and my handprints were this small. Cherish my little handprints as time will move fast, and these little handprints will be in the past." Oh gosh, it gets me so much. She handed me that card and I just broke down in tears. She was like, "Does my card not make you happy, Mummy?" I was like, "It makes me cry happy tears." Oh gosh, I'm such an emotional wreck at the moment. Anyway, thank you for listening this evening and being here as always. Please send any suggestions into the podcast, any topics you want me to discuss, any segments that you think would be funny or interesting. Email me the nightfeedpodcast@gmail.com. This podcast is going out a little late, so it's going out on Saturday, the 24th of May. We're usually on a Wednesday, but you know, life is busy at the moment. So who knows? It's Saturday the 24th. Maybe next time I record, I might have a new edition. We will see. But I wish you all a restful, relaxing night ahead. Good night.